This week, I wanted to talk about something that's becoming a massive conversation in men's health right now. Not just living longer, but living better. This is the Inner Edge Coaching Podcast, and I am Chris. So, a lot of men over 30 are starting to realize something. You can look okay on the outside, but you can still feel exhausted, stressed, disconnected, unfit, and honestly, older than you should look. And the truth is, most men aren't actually scared of getting old. They're concerned about becoming weak, losing energy, not having the confidence that they feel that they should have, losing purpose in life, and losing independence. That's why there's suddenly this huge rise in conversations about around longevity, testosterone, recovery, stress, sleep, and now what's being called health span. So, over the last few weeks, there's been a huge amount of discussion in the men's health world around aging, fitness, and longevity. One recent study following almost 25,000 people found that men with better cardiovascular fitness in midlife not only lived longer, but they stayed healthier for longer too. And that's the key point. Not just lifespan, health span. The amount of your life you actually spend feeling capable, energetic, mobile, and independent. There's been growing discussion around what experts are calling pre-frailty. So this is when the stage before you become in a frail state. And I see within physiotherapy for the older population that there are stages within their lives where they've become frail, they don't go out as much, they're socially isolated. Um, but actually, there's a stage before frailty. There's a stage before they get to that point where there are things that they could have done to stop themselves getting there. And we know that frailty is something that you can rehab if you catch it earlier. If you know that this is something that's happening, you put things in place, you can stop yourself becoming um, too frail. But for men in particular, in their 30s and 40s, this is where they start to show signs of reduced strength, poor recovery, exhaustion, and declining physical resilience. And we know that balance in people starts to deteriorate in your 40s. So, honestly, as a coach and a physio, I see it. And men aren't, they're not broken, but they are chronically under recovered, overstressed. They're sitting too much. I know I sit too much. They sleep poorly. They train inconsistently, and they're living in survival mode. At the same time, social media has exploded with conversations around testosterone and optimization. Some of that conversation's useful, but some of it's bollocks. There's been recent backlash against the idea that every tired or unmotivated man automatically has low testosterone. And I don't know whether you've seen the adverts, but there's lots of things going around low testosterone, and actually feeling low in energy is related to low testosterone. It was one of the reasons why I went and got myself tested for testosterone, because I was like, is this life, or is this actually low testosterone? And because it's pushed at you as a man in your 30s, you think this could be it. My results come back normal, but sometimes the issue isn't low testosterone. Sometimes it is just poor sleep, chronic stress, lack of movement, poor diet, lack of connection and isolation, even some burnout, And yes, for some people, that's alcohol and drugs, or even too much gambling, or just no purpose, either at work out or at home. So, in other words, life is catching up with men. And I think that's where the conversation around men's health needs to develop, really, because for years, fitness culture has sold the idea that health for men was about getting abs, having a low body fat percentage, looking massive, or like chasing the aesthetics, or bro splits. And yeah, for some men in their 20s, I did it. I wanted to do that for vanity reasons. I wanted to get bigger. But now in my 30s, and once you get past into your 30s and past your 30s, especially when you're in a career or you've got children and a mortgage and responsibilities, even stress, your priorities start to change. So now, when that happens, you just want energy and a clear head, resilience to know that you can carry on, the confidence to know that you've got things handled, strength to be able to do the things that you need to do, a good night's sleep, a body that doesn't ache constantly, to feel capable, no, to feel athletic at 50. So that's running, jumping, hopping, climbing, still being able to chase after your children, but also to be capable at 70. So, and onwards, to be able to still walk and to do your shopping on your own at that age, that's the real goal. So, 5 things that men over 30 need to prioritize. So, number one is actually strength training is it's not an option, it's something that you just need to do. Muscle is one of the biggest predictors of healthy aging. Not not for the appearance of it, but for actually for the function. So your muscle protects things like your metabolism, your joints, your bone density, your testosterone, your confidence, and your independence. And after 30, we naturally start losing muscle mass anyway, unless we actively train to maintain it. That doesn't mean bodybuilding though. It does mean resistance training. It means moving well. It means staying athletic. So running, sprinting, hopping, jumping, bounding, climbing, and maintaining your power and mobility. So the goal shifts from sort of looking impressive to staying capable. Number two, cardio is also about your brain. So there's also growing evidence to show exercise helps to slow your brain aging. And that matters because many men over 30 aren't just physically tired, they're mentally exhausted. So stress, decision fatigue, poor sleep, constant stimulation on the phones all the time, lots of notifications coming through on your phone, the work pressure. Like we are sort of we're on go mode all of the time now. Um, so movement becomes medicine for your nervous system, not not punishment. A lot of men think that fitness is about discipline, but eventually you realize that fitness is emotional regulation as well. Most men underestimate stress, but with this third thing that you need to know, stress isn't just a mindset issue, it's physiological. So if you're constantly stressed, your recovery suffers, your sleep suffers, your cravings increase because you'll naturally want sugar. You'll have sort of spikes. Your energy will drop. Your motivation disappears. Um, your sex drive might even drop off a cliff. And then most men or many men solve that by having coffee to feel alert, or having alcohol, or short dopamine bursts, scrolling the internet, or overworking. So instead of recovery, sometimes the most masculine thing a man can do is actually slow down long enough to look after himself properly. Men need community more than they admit. Sorry, technical issues. Men need community more than they admit. So one of the biggest predictors of longevity isn't actually supplements or biohacking. It's actually connection. It's going out, seeing the friends. It's text messages. It's groups. It's walking clubs, running clubs. Um, Men become increasingly isolated after 30. So work, family, routine, responsibilities all get in the way of that sometimes. So suddenly they stop training with people. They stop opening up to people because they haven't had the opportunity to do that. They stop socializing, and they stop having challenge and accountability around some of the things that they're doing. So a lot of men aren't depressed, they're actually just disconnected. That's why community matters. Number five, health isn't about perfection. I've said this in lots of other podcasts that I've done on here, but one of the healthiest mindset shifts that a man can make is you don't need to optimize every part of your life. You're not a robot. You don't need ice baths at 5 a.m. You don't need to get up at half 4 in the morning. You don't need 27 supplements or the perfect macros every day, or some extreme routine that you need to try and cram in before you go and do your 7, 8, 9, 10 hour shift. Most men just need consistent movement, better sleep, less alcohol, some resistance training, proper food, eating like an adult, purpose, connection, and stress management, because actually the basics still work. And that's what we need to promote. It's not sexy, but actually that's what works and what you need to do, because people jump from, oh, I've done that for a week and now I need some extreme measure. You don't need to blow everything up. You just need some basics, and get nailing the basics for longer than you actually think you need to do it for. The basics work, and they always will, because that's what the building blocks are. So if you are listening, watching this and wondering where to start, here's what I'd focus on for this week. I would lift weights 2 to 3 times this week, an all over body workout on each session. I would walk every day. I would prioritize getting to sleep and making that routine better for you, whatever that looks like. I would reduce how often I was on my phone and reduce some of the scrolling that I'm doing. I'd eat more whole foods. I would talk will create an opportunity to talk to somebody this week, honestly. And actually, I just focus on putting the basics into my week. So you're building fitness for the future, not for Instagram, not for your ego, but for your life. And I think that's actually the real conversation around men's health after 30. It's, can you build a body and a mind that supports the life that you actually want? Not just for now, but for 10 years, 20 or 30 years from now, because health is no longer just about looking fit. It's about you staying sharp, staying capable, staying present, staying independent, staying alive long enough to enjoy the life that you're building. And honestly, that's the real inner edge. If you've taken anything from this today, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If the episode has resonated with you, share it with another man who needs to hear it. I've been Chris. This is the Inner Edge Coaching Podcast, and I will see you in the next episode. There is a professional coach to come. There is a physiotherapist that is providing physiotherapy to elite golfers. There is a psychologist from the university, and a very, very successful personal trainer that is coaching men within Coventry and the surrounding areas to lose weight so that they can lead the life that they want to lead. Those episodes coming in the next few weeks. So if you were interested in that, subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side. Look after yourself.